I'm Marcell Mars, and I'm advanced user of internet. The way how we imagined public library in 2012 was that the books are available, everyone can become a librarian, and librarian can do a catalog, and it can share freely with the world these books. And then I built the software behind that, and together with other librarians, we built that public library. And then at a certain moment, we started to call it by its domain name, Memory of the World. I feel that when it comes to libraries, it's more about the languages, no? So, for example, my dialect is coming from communist Yugoslavia. We did a lot of work to share that legacy. We digitized a lot of books and things like that, and it's mostly in the language we all kind of understand in Yugoslavia, and that's something which is harder to share with the others. But at the same time, most of the books on Memory of the World is in English, and that's the language we ended up with as some kind of de facto a standard in the world, which is in many ways necessary to speak. There are like problems coming with that, but I think that as every standard, it also helps people find the common denominator faster than they would otherwise. Yeah, I think that there is the idea and there is a belief that if we distribute, for example, if we distribute power, no, that it's probably a very good thing, so that it's not only few who would have power. So we have the idea that the distributed is better than centralized. And I think that in many ways, that's what we need in many corners of the world in that sense. And we have a lot of efforts to do that. And I think that part of the imaginary today is that distributed topology can only come through technology in a way, like blockchain. I think that's a bullshit. I think that the distributed first and foremost come from us people. And then if we are able to do that, even if we do that through and using no technology at all, or the worst, more centralized, I don't care about that. But of course, some technologies would help you, just like standard, like English, no? Yeah. It comes with a lot of problems, but then in order to get there faster, it's good to have technology which is designed and meant to kind of provide some distributed structures. I don't know. I think that BitTorrent was very successful in that. But then another good example is Wikipedia, where there is no like a distributed protocol, but it kind of distributed the role of who will actually write the most impressive encyclopedia of all time. And their kind of gesture was the simplest possible. It just like put the link to edit this page on every page, and they were very successful. Our libraries, if you look into them, it kind of shows and it represents in some way what do we want to know in many ways. So I didn't know that it will happen through that, but it happened somehow. When we started the project Pirate Care, where we wanted to do a syllabus collectively and collaboratively written in order to learn together, we came up with some constraints. So we had something which is like syllabus, that's Pirate Care, and then syllabus has topics, and these topics would be covered by practices, Pirate Care practices, people who are brave enough to do civil disobedience, and against sometimes all odds, against the restrictive regimes of like fuckers of the world, to kind of try to build the society we think it should be. So that's people who would do the topics. And then topics would have sessions. And session would be just a description or a blueprint where you try to describe what some group should do when they gather together to learn together. No? And that structure, when syllabus has topics and then topics has sessions, is something which can be sent to a printer. No? So at any given moment in send points, you can print whole website and get it in a proper, well-designed, paginated PDF. And all of that works offline, which means that if I give you on a USB disk and you go home, the only thing you need on your computer is a web browser, Chrome or Firefox, and then you open a file like in the 90s. No? You go, Control-O, open, you start with any HTML, and everything is there. That means that if you are in a prison, for example, then and no internet, that's how you can bring the syllabus, no? With all of the references. And if there is a printer there, you can also print it so you can take it into your cell and read it. Or if you are in Rojava, for example, if you like struggle, if you have like a political, the war situation, then most probably that will help because you don't have the whatever, the internet, or it's just like part of the vulnerable group, or just the group which doesn't want to have anything online. At least at this moment, we can just like coordinate and say, here's the USB disk, and we will like share it among each other if there is a printer, so we don't have to expose our group online or something like that. So this is why these things are, I think, important and very political, and that's what the platform tries to address.